insane, the amount of rain. But then you got these winds. It's just incredible. I mean, I've been in a lot of hurricanes, but seeing the Tampa Bay do this is just shocking to me.
You know, we talk about people completely losing contact with the outside world, which is what's going to happen, right? With no power, no Wi-Fi, nothing. Do you think the people who did stay behind truly have any idea what to expect?
No, it's there's a lot of stubbornness in Florida. I get it. I used to be that one, you know, that didn't believe in evacuating. And you're left with weeks sometimes, and they warned us. You know, Kevin Guthrie and the state. You know, there's a lot of resources out of state, and you know, angry because they wanted to go home. So that's why you know they have to do their job. They have to clean up. We've had all this debris laying around, and this wind is absolutely insane.
Washington and Fort Myers.
Well, it's going to be a rough night for a lot of people in the path of the storm. Here in the Tampa Bay, St. Petersburg area, the eye wall is starting to move inland, and that's why we have an extreme wind warning. So that's a shelter-in-place warning. That means it's no longer safe to be outside of your home. So absolutely go inside and stay there for the rest of the night. And these winds are going to spread inland over the next several hours and just cut us.
Violent down here now. Really cranking, and the rain, as I said, 5 inches.
Well, this is really
5 inches to come.
wow. It's really interesting to see this much water now starting to come up, and again, it's this water coming up from the Manatee River, and it's higher. The ground is higher, about 100 feet from there, and water is just pouring down from that direction here. And now the wind is really picking up just in the last couple of seconds, and it's really whipping. Our coverage continues all night long. Kaylin Collins joins me now. I want to toss it over to her. Kaylin?
And I'm Kaylin Collins alongside Anderson Cooper live on the ground in Florida, where you can see Hurricane Milton has just made landfall near the barrier island of Siesta Key, Florida, but clearly the effects are being felt everywhere. It has come in as a Category 3 storm with 120 mile per hour sustained winds, even higher gusts, according to the National Hurricane Center. We are talking torrential rain, extremely dangerous winds. What is being described as life-threatening storm surges that are now pounding portions of the state. At this hour, a life-threatening flash flood warning has just been issued for nearly 2 million people. That includes Tampa, St. Petersburg, and Clearwater. You just saw, Bill, we are in St. Petersburg. You could see all of that developing there. Right now, over 500,000 homes and businesses have lost power, with conditions deteriorating by the minute. This storm has also spawned a record number of tornadoes all across the state of Florida, far beyond where this storm is actually making a direct hit tonight. There have been 19 confirmed tornadoes so far. The sheriff of St. Lucie County has just confirmed that there have been multiple fatalities after an outbreak of tornadoes there. Many more warnings, of course. Just to give you a sense of how massive and intense this storm that is hitting Florida right now is, look at this satellite image showing lightning strikes breaking out everywhere. We have reporters fanned out across the storm zone, across Florida. Anderson, you're in Bradenton, Florida. We were just looking at you and the Manatee River, as clearly you're just seeing how much this is developing nearly by the minute.
Yeah.
Are really going to be difficult, and they're going to be telling, because that storm surge could be anywhere between 8 to 9 to 10 feet. And we're not going to really get a sense of just how much of this flooding is going to happen until tomorrow morning, because that's when we expect high tide to take place. That's when we expect all of the flooding from parts of central Florida to make its way down the Caloosahatchee River, where I'm at. And then that's kind of what you're seeing here. I've been describing it as a confluence of forces, where you have the water from the Gulf of Mexico rushing in through the river out here, and then you've got all of the rain, and you've got all of the flooding from canals and rivers and up from the central part of Florida, and that water has to go somewhere. And at some point, when it can't go out into the Gulf because of the storm, and it can't go inland, it's got to make its way just blocks in. That was really the concern for folks coming into the storm, is they knew that this part was going to flood, and at this point, Anderson, it's flooded at this point. I'd imagine, as far as I can see, into downtown Fort Myers, at this point, it's just become almost a large pool, if you will. It's really just running parallel to the river, and it's at times a little bit difficult to make out where the river is.
In just a matter of weather. This is the kind of rain that Tampa gets in 4 to 6 months, coming down in a day, Abby. And I do want to point out there's at least one car that stalled out further down the street. There was an elderly gentleman in it. He for some reason stopped there. I don't know if his car stalled or he just stopped the car, but he got out and he started walking around. We tried to make contact with him, but he wasn't responding. He didn't seem to know exactly what was going on. Clearly not what you want to see in a situation like this with so many dangers. You have powerful rain, you have winds that whip you around. They are starting to calm down, but nevertheless, it is a serious factor when you consider that there is debris scattered across this area, the western part of Florida, because of Hurricane Helene about 2 weeks ago. Beyond that, you have considerable storm surge. We were in a location earlier tonight right on Tampa Bay watching the water start whipping the seawall. We actually had to get out of there because it was becoming too intense and it was a real danger. And so we moved out of the way. That area right now, as we were getting out, was flooded. That was roughly 7 p.m., Abby. You can imagine what it looks like right now with so much rain coming down. It is starting to slow down here as the storm moves to the northeast, but obviously a lot of concern and a lot of danger out there for residents.
Yeah, I can see that water.